similar to a fox. If you see them, you'll find that. Or if you find that this person is inclined towards al-quwa al-shahwaniyya, that is to say the desire of this dunya, you'll find that he is not correct. All of this will appear on him. Now, these battles, I'll give you some of these diseases. Let us start with the aql itself. Because each and every one of these faculties, it has their own diseases. I will start with the aql. The example that I can give is waswasa. Aql, it works properly, it will start to take control of them. But it also has disease that me and you, we have to be aware of. One of them is al-waswasa, the temptations of shaitan. Satanic temptations are such that this aql, it can have one of two kinds of suggestions. Either if the angels of Allah Azza wa Jal, they are able to whisper good things in my heart, that is Rahmani light in my heart. That Rahmani light in my heart in Quran or in our narrations is referred to as ilham. Sometimes you find that something has inspired you to do good. Do you know that? Have you felt that feeling? That feeling is the angels of Allah Azza wa Jal. That is called inspiration. On the other hand, you have that temptations, suggestion of bad things, to do something bad. See if you can, if it's possible for you to take some money, not declare your taxes properly how they are, for instance, or do such and such thing. This is called waswasa. For shaitan, ma'adallah, to tempt you towards doing these bad things. How can I, O Mawlana, the most important question, how can I fight waswasa? To fight the waswasa, think whatever action you want to do, think about your akhirah, think about your hereafter. Whatever you want to do, think about it. Whatever temptation you have in your heart to do or to look at a haram look, ma'adallah, think about what the consequences of that look are. The consequences of that in the akhirah and this dunya. Look at the results, look at the effect. Secondly, when you have this, one of the things that you have to think about is Allah Azza wa Jal. Have that feeling that Allah is watching you right now in this instant. And you're trying to do something bad, immediately you feel a kind of weariness. If you think about Allah Azza wa Jal, every single instant He is with you and is closer to us than our jugular vein. Think about Allah Azza wa Jal, that Allah is watching. If I go to al-quwa al-ghadabiyya, that is to say, the faculty of anger. Okay? The faculty of anger, it can be afflicted with many things. One of them is fear. Fear. To be over-fearing. To fear too much. In essence, to be closer to cowardliness. Cowardice. Fear is of two kinds. In the Holy Quran, in the Holy Quran, fear has been mentioned in positive and in negative lights. Positive a lot. For example, when we go to some of the verses that talk about khashyatillah or وَإِيَّايَ فَارْهَبُونَ or فَإِيَّايَ فَارْهَبُونَ, that is to say, fear me. Allah is calling to fear me. This, in essence, tells us that there are two kinds of fear. First of all, to fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Secondly, to fear things that do not deserve to be feared. My disease, or the disease that I want to talk about, is of that second kind. It's not the first sign. The first sign is positive. If you have fear, for example, some people, they may have fear, for instance, of swimming, let's say. Some people of dead bodies. Some people of the dark. Other people, for instance, let's say, for example, today the Imam comes. One of the things that we have to be at his side. We have to defend him. We have to defend Islam. To hatiyar apne upar anushe. Bana Maulana apre khichdi khawa wara che. Apre pila khawa wara che. Imam ne kitchen ma kaam karse. Imam ne kitchen ma ansuni jarur nathi. Kitchen ma bayo nu kaam she. Apro kaam nathi. To, and that, this fear. I'm talking about this patcher exactly to talk about it right now or to come and try to face it. But in general, how can we rid ourselves from this? In order to rid ourselves from this, we have to think about think about it itself. The fear, unjustified fear. Come and think about it logically. Think about all of the consequences. Okay, let's say, for example, a child is afraid of ghosts. If that child were to have a level of intellect, okay, come and think that truly, what is the worst that is going to happen to me? What is it possible? What's possible? I go to the swimming pool, I don't know how to swim, I go to the deep end. What's the worst that's going to happen? Okay? The worst that's going to happen is that I won't be able to swim properly and the lifeguard is going to come. Okay? I'm not saying that you go to the middle of the ocean and drop yourself. No, I'm not saying that. Secondly, our Imam Ali alayhi salam, he mentions something. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajli farajahum. That if you fear something, then fall in it. Throw yourself in it. Whatever you fear, throw yourself in it. In khifta min shay'in faqa' fi. See, get used to the result that you are afraid of in the beginning. You'll find that, no, it's not as hard as I was thinking. No, it's not as difficult. You will find that. So that is the second way. Thirdly, sometimes people have fear of things like separation due to death. I don't know, I fear leaving my family because I fear death. I don't want to be separated. At that point, you come and you think that this dunya is a temporary abode of testing. You have a test drive before a car is made. That test drive is just for a period, very short period, and then it goes to its main life. Our life is not in this world. This body Allah Azza wa Jalla has created a really test. It's a body for testing, that's it. Our body over there is different. Our life over there is different. Our soul is eternal. So how? Why should a human being be afraid of passing? Imam Husayn alayhi salam says, Sallallahu alayhi Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum adam. Our Imam alayhi salam says that why sabran banil kiram? That is to say, oh noble, or the sons of the noble people, have patience. Mal mautu illa qantara. That is to say, death is only a bridge. It's only a bridge that takes you from a limited world ila al-jinan al-wasi'a, to vast heavens. So, think about death. If it's because of death, and this is the cause, this is the matter. If it's because of attachment of the dunya, then we have to work on that attachment in order to leave it. Okay, the pleasures of this dunya are really short. And on the opposite, on the contrary, on top of that, those pleasures that Allah Azza wa Jalla has promised us in the Jannah, they are far more fulfilling and rewarding. Why would you want that? Why would you only want to stick yourself with these? As I continue, I would like to mention this point. With regards to the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla, I said that the fear of Allah Azza wa Jalla is positive, but we have to keep in mind that everything in Islam has to have a moderation. With this, I will end the first one. That everything in Islam has to have a moderation. Everything in our nafs has to have a moderation. To fear Allah Azza wa Jalla too much is going to the further extreme. That further extreme it is referred to, which is something haram, for a person to despair from the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Al-ya'su min rahmatillah. That is haram. To fear too much to the extent that you do not feel or know that Allah will have mercy on us. To forget that mercy. On the other end as well, you should not have too much trust or too much connection just to the mercy of Allah and forget that Allah is adil, that Allah Azza wa Jal is the judge and He will judge us on the day of Qiyamah. He will hold us to account. What we should have is that medium moderation. And this is what is referred to in the books of Sayr and Suluk, referring to Allah, towards Allah Azza wa Jal, that a human being, as they walk towards the path of perfection, we should have two wheels. The first of the wheels is called hope, al-raja, hope in Allah and His mercy. The second is al-khawf, fear of Allah and His punishment and His chastisement, and the adhab of al-akhirah. Allah Azza wa Jal, among the different faculties that He has given to us, is the faculty of shahwa. I will talk about this inshallah in our next khutbah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على وآل محمد. الحمد لله حمدا مباركا طيبا. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل عليه صلاة دائمة مباركة. اللهم وصل على وصيه أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وصل على بضعته الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. وصل على سبطيه الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. اللهم وصل على الآية العظمى والحجة الكبرى نور الأبصار والهدي الأبرار الإمام المنتظر صاحب العصر والزمان. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. My dear brothers and sisters, إخوتي وأخواتي, أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله. My dear brothers and sisters, I enjoin you and I remind you for one and for us all to fear Allah Azza wa Jal. As I was talking about al-quwa al-shahwaniyya before khutbah, one of the different diseases that we have that affects us on this with regards to this faculty is al-bukhl, that is to say miserliness, stinginess. Miserliness is for a person to refrain from giving in a situation that you should be generous in. And this is different. This miserliness is on the one hand. On the other hand, you have something which is called lavish spending in situations in which you should not spend that much. Instances such as al-israf and al-tabdhir. Both of them have different meanings. What is the medium or the moderation that Allah wants from us with regards to this quwwah, with regards to this faculty of al-shahwa? Allah Azza wa Jal wants me and you to be generous. Whatever Allah gives us, He wants for others. He wants for people who are deprived, for His causes. He wants for there to be a portion in your money. And with this regard, Allah Azza wa Jal describes that one of the traits of the Ibadur Rahman is that who, when they spend, are neither prodigal nor parsimonious, but between that they have a just stand. They don't go to either of the two extremes. The medium that Allah Azza wa Jal wants is for a person to be sakhi. Allah Azza wa Jal wants me and you to be sakhi. And sakhi, one of the translations of it in the Arabic language, or one of the deeper meanings of it in the Arabic language, different to than when it's compared to al-karam, akarim she. We say akarim she and sakhi she. What is the difference? Karim is a person that who, when he wants to give, side marakse. He will give, he will keep a small portion for himself. A sakhi is such a person that when he gives, he does not even keep portion for himself. He has absolute reliance on Allah Azza wa Jal. This is called sakhi. And at that, we have from Surah Al-Insan, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويطعمون على طعامه على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا يطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا. That Allah Azza wa Jal says that they give and spend food. They're giving food out of love for Him to a poor person and an orphan and to a prisoner. This with regards to Ahlul Bayt. For 3 days they did not have food. They did not have food. This is called sakha. Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to get to that degree. Allah, of course, for us, it's going to be difficult, especially being brought up in a Western country. We find that no, we tend to be a little bit selfish. I'm mentioning this because there is one beautiful trait in our elders, and this is more focused towards people of my own generation, my youngsters, my brothers. Our elders have a really beautiful trait. And that's something I really, really admire. Whenever I go to any community, I find that our elders, alhamdulillah, they have founded and they have sacrificed so much that we have everything easier for us. Go to centers, you go on madrasas, everything. They have made things so easy for us. However, we who were brought up, especially in the Western world, we tend to be selfish. I am 100% sure, okay, if me, someone of my own age, maybe myself, if I were to compare and if I were to have the same financial capability as someone elder, I'm 100% sure that my elder will pay more, that he will do more sadaqah, he will give more donations. This is something that we need to learn from that generation, because it is with this barakah, it is with this that we have reached here today. It is with this barakah, with this beautiful trait that Allah Azza wa Jalla has blessed us with these kind of centers that we stand here today and we can remember Allah Azza wa Jalla. So I really enjoin my brothers to, as we go back, think about it. Truly think about it. And think about your children. That to give, don't let there be a break. Whenever you feel that it's difficult for you, what should I do? This is how to cure. How do I cure? First of all, come to the verses of the Holy Quran. When you come to the verses of the Holy Quran, you'll find that Allah Azza wa Jal says, and those people who give, and they give alone to Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah will multiply it tenfold and multifold. Allah will give you jannatin tajri min tahti al-anhar. If you go, I really advise you, go to the books of tafsir. Just read about the descriptions of al-Jannah. That's when Allah Azza wa Jal, that Allah will give to a person who gives sadaqah, who donates. Just read about them. You will truly be baffled. You won't be able to comprehend. You will say, truly. Think about it. So this is first. Secondly, think about the harmful acts of being miserly, of being stingy, kanjus. Think about it. If you don't give, Fulan doesn't give. If you take the example, for example, of a center, then you won't have a place of congregation. Namaz wadareneitai. Maybe you may hire a hall every year from, for example, for the time of Muharram. There is no practical application. There is no place of congregation. Community will become weak. Your children will not know their deen. Maybe they won't be in madrasa. And it continues. Think about the harmful effects. Thirdly, force yourself. Force yourself to give. Give once. Aaj 5 pound. Kale 10 pound. Tomorrow take part in a bigger project. And continue. Continue. Because the plot of shaitan is really weak. Shaitan, when he tries to get a hold of your soul, however much he gets a hold of it, but if you break that chain just once, you will find that to do, and this I'm saying, I'm really accurate at what I say. Break and go against, resist shaitan once, you'll find that the second time, that resistance is 50% easier. The third time is 20%, and then slowly, it's easy. You have to break that until it becomes a second nature to you. Generosity and to give, it becomes a second nature to you. Even if it may be artificial in the end. Finally, I would like to mention, if my dear brothers and sisters, they want to go into the details of these akhlaqi diseases that we should always really be vigilant about preventing ourselves from, or preventing from ourselves being affected by them, go to the book Jami' al-Sa'adat, the Collector of Felicities, by Al-Alama al-Naraqi. It is a beautiful book. It is a really practical book. It gives you a list of these diseases that we should, in essence, try to stay away from. One of the different kinds of diseases, the diseases that are related to all of these facilities, faculties. Not only al-ghadab on the side, that is to say, anger. No, there are certain diseases that are connected by the three faculties, or the four faculties. Some of these joint ones are hasad, jealousy, insulting other people, frightening or causing adhiya to Muslims, indifference to the affairs of Muslims, the general affairs, negligence in carrying out amr al-ma'ruf and nahy al-munkar. Bas mukideni yani bana haytnam kare che. I can't tell them, they may be affected. Mukideni pote jane. Mukide pote jane. After Imam alayhi salam tia, he was martyred. His blood was shed, and all of his family. Why? Because I want to do amr al-ma'ruf and nahy al-munkar. Anya majlis ma'awine mashallah fine rose. Maulana ne pan majavse. Bare nikre mukideni aloka pote jane. That's not how an ummah is. Unsociableness. There are certain people that you'll find that they're not easy to approach. Jaldi khara thai jai. If you speak to them about something, he won't listen to you. A deaf ear. Breaking silat al-raham, family relations, and the list goes on. The final thing that I will end my second khutbah is indifference to the affairs of Muslims. Indifference to the affairs of Muslims. Our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam narrates that he who wakes up and sleeps, man asbaha la yahtamu bi umur al-muslimin, does not care about the affairs of Muslims, فَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ, then he is not one from them. وَمَنْ سَمِعَ رَجُلًا يُنَادِي يَا لِلْمُسْلِمِينَ فَلَمْ يُجِبْهُ فَلَيْسَ بِمُسْلِمٍ, and he who hears a call of a person in distress saying, "O Muslims, come and help me," and he does not come to aid him, then he is not a Muslim either. With this regard, our Prophet, he has given us a really important tenet of Islam. That tenet that unites us all together as an ummah in the framework of a nation. We have two personalities in the Holy Quran. If you read, we have two hisabs that we have coming on the day of Qiyamah. One is the accountability of ourselves, that every person is going to be given their kitab. The second is the kitab of an ummah. We, for example, as Leicester Jamaat, Kare Kayamat Nadiyo se, Ape Leicester Jamaat, Baddaine, we're going to be called. Tame Akem na Kaira, Akem Kaira, Akem na Kaira, Akem Kaira. As an ummah, Tame Kesu Maru Suangche. Were you not a part of the community? That's a misunderstanding that you have. The same applies with regards to Muslims over here. At that, I will just mention one narration. I will mention a couple of points at end so that we don't take a lot of time. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam again mentions, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. After emphasizing that we have to take care, we have to go out, we have to ask for news, follow Qur'an. Look at what is happening with regards to the Muslims, Muslim nations. In essence, the affairs of us Muslims, for example, living in a Western world, in a Western country, what is happening, Islamophobia, this, terrorist attacks, how does it affect us? Sunnis and Shias, unity, all of this. We should have that in our personality. He mentions that on the other hand, if there is someone who calls for the aid of Muslims, we should all come together, that he, man masha, he walks, في حاجة أخيه ساعة من ليل أو نهار, for 1 hour, for either day or night, قضاها أو لم يقضيها, he was able to fulfill that hajat or not, كان خيرا له من اعتكاف شهرين. It is better for him in terms of thawab and even spiritual effect and even bringing him closer to the path of perfection. It is better for him than doing i'tikaf for 2 months. There is a narration, there is one of my teacher once informed me of one of the ulama, one of the grand maraja, whose name unfortunately I can't remember. He says that if you were to be told that you have 1 more hour remaining in your life, what would you do? You know the answer that he gave him? That marja. He can do anything. He can ask for anything. At that point, he just thought about one thing. He said, I would sit outside at the doorstep of my door. I would fulfill the hajat of people for that 1 hour. Because there is nothing better than that. Fulfilling the hajat of people. At that, we as Muslims, when we think about our affairs, collective affairs, we come. Look at the situation of the Muslims in Yemen today. Look at what is happening to them. And when we find that we can do something, we can enforce pressure in certain places, it is possible for me to do. Can I not go to my MP and I can voice, okay, what is this? What is happening over here is not correct. We are against this. In the proper political steps that we as law-abiding citizens have a right to show. If you go to Bahrain, exact same thing. If you go to Saudi Arabia over there, there is blackout of media, no one even videoing or showing, no media outlet. What is happening over here? An entire city, town of Al-Awamiyya was wiped out. Blood was on the streets. Blood was on the streets. Entire houses were destroyed. Entire communities have been displaced. If we go to Iraq, the same situation. Syria, exactly the same. In the UK, because of what is happening over there and because of the terrorist work, unfortunately, coming back. This is the last point that I want to end with. We are facing Islamophobia because these people are presenting a wrong picture of us, a wrong picture of our Holy Prophet. What is my responsibility? My responsibility is to be vigilant, is to be careful. Look at how these different plots are over there in order to distort the picture of Islam. I have to present the picture of Islam with my actions. I have non-Muslim friends, I have non-Muslim colleagues. That is the best opportunity. Show them the akhlaq. Show them that to us, a human being is the most important thing, whatever their religion may be. Our Holy Prophet was the Prophet of mercy, sallallahu alayhi wa Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Last week, as there was a program going on in Birmingham, a youth was attacked. Allahu alam by who until now, it's not 100% sure. But this attack unfortunately happened in a situation that in the previous hours, a few hours before that, a group of some Salafis had come to the mosque in order to cause some disruption. It was an Ashura program. After that, there was a majlis, a late night majlis program, which I myself was in. Unfortunately, this youth was stabbed. Us, immediately thinking with fire, with emotions, these Salafis, they have done this. Because after Imam Husayn, we're mourning for him, these people have done it. No. Be careful. Before running to any assumptions, be careful as Muslims. There is a plot in order to distort the picture of Islam. There is a plot. In this kind of situations, come. Think with aql. Be a little bit careful. Let the security, let the police do their work. Let them investigate. What happened, what was really positive, is that the days following that, the ulama from the Sunni mosques, they came in order to show condolence with the Shia mosque over there that we are one. This is what we want. This is the picture of Islam. With that, I end my khutbahs. I pray Allah Azza wa Jal that Allahumma aghfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat. تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات. Allahumma, Allah Azza wa Jal, please grant salvation. O Allah, protection to the mustad'afina of the earth. O Allah Azza wa Jal, hasten the reappearance of our 12th Imam. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. اللهم صل على محمد.